Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Jenkins, and welcome to the 1996 edition of Thrills and Spills. Now, the weather out here is kind of frightful, and most race drivers I know that live in this area either hibernate or go to a warmer climate this time of year. But we've come indoors to this beautiful go-kart racing facility on the northwest side of Indianapolis, owned by IndyCar star Stefan Johansson. Why? Well, because the producers of this show think that I should spend the winter months becoming more familiar with what it's exactly like to be behind the wheel of a race car. Now, I don't know how many thrills I'll provide when we get back to the racing surface a little bit later in the show, but if you stay with us in the next hour, you're going to see some of the best thrills and spills from '96, plus we're going to pull a few shots from the archives. One thing I need to remind you of, though, is that all drivers were able to walk away from these incidents to race another day. We begin with the stars of the quarter mile, and when it comes to thrills, nobody does it faster. Is this where I've signed up to be a race driver?
I think that check from Shaquille O'Neal might be a little bit worse because he's a pretty big guy.
Man, that drag racing blows me away. Well, don't you go away. Our tour of Stefan Johansson's karting center will continue along with plenty more thrills and spills, including some of the wildest moments from the Indy Racing League and stock car country. Well, racing is definitely not a game to those guys. Welcome back to Thrills and Spills. I'm Bob Jenkins at Stefan Johansson's karting center. Now, before I get behind the wheel of an actual go-kart, I thought it would be good to warm up with something slower and a little less dangerous, like this video game. So while I hone my racing skills here for the next few minutes, why don't you enjoy some of our favorite stock car stars as they trade some paint? Now, from the super speedways to the short tracks, those guys really know how to rock and roll. Oh! Oh!
Garrett, the 88 car ends on contact between Earnhardt, and once again they make contact.
Don't miss any of the action. When Thrills and Spills return, we'll take it to the streets with the racers who turn left and right for a living. And you won't need a quarter to see the excitement of IndyCar racing. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Thrills and Spills. As you saw, turning left and right can be challenging even for the professionals. As you can see, I've taken the next step in my learning to be a race driver. I'm being fitted for a car. Well, not this one, but something very similar. As I promised earlier, we're going to take a look back at some past Thrills and Spills. We begin with the Indy cars. Now, the cars may not look the same, but the action is just as hot. come. The green flag is out, and we are racing at Surfers Paradise. The 91-kart season is underway.
Oh, Little Al.
Little Al has crashed, and another car, and another car. Mario involved. John Andretti from Indianapolis, Indiana. The checkered flag is waved. John raises his hand. The Gold Coast IndyCar Grand Prix goes to John Andretti. Boy, there's one very angry Michael Andretti. Pretty gutsy move for Michael.
Pretty gutsy move, and something that you don't always get away with.
And here comes Michael. Look at Michael cook the brakes as he gets wide, and Michael loses an advantage there.
Stand still and go! Come on, get out of there! This is a great fight, Paul. This is a great fight. Look the way he draws up behind him.
He climbs on the pit straight. He's out of fuel. He slows down. Michael Andretti comes around him, and Michael Andretti on the left straightaway picks up the race, the checkered flag, and the lead. What could possibly have happened to Rick Mears?
He deserved it. He drove a heck of a race and was driving very tough. But I guess when it's your day, your day.
Michael Andretti, the 11th and final turn, the last turn of the racing season. And as the new champion, Michael Andretti takes Nick Fedoro's checkered flag. He takes the season, he takes the race. Michael Andretti, with an incredible record-breaking year, wins the title now by 34 points. Well, that was then, and this is now. Many new faces have joined the IndyCar ranks since back then. Many have become movers and shakers. They've actually tested their skills here, and they've signed this autograph wall. Now, keep an eye out for them in our next video. By the way, how come my name isn't up here?
Right, so hard and fast. It was ridiculous. It felt like I got hit in the back or something broke on the car. It just turned right. See the pole dance.
Fire. Magnuson's got a fire. Whoa, big fire. Now, I really don't think I'm going to have time to do that. It's just, there just aren't enough hours. Hang on a second. I am a very busy person. I mean, I've got Speed Week, checkered flag. I host the NASCAR Winston Cup races. There just doesn't seem
Bob,
enough...
Danny Sullivan's on the phone. He's going to be on Speed Week next week, okay? Danny Sullivan.
Now, I'll get back with him. Just tell him that I'm busy right now. And
Hey, Bob, we need to screen this tape for Speed Week highlights and VO.
Paul, do it yourself. You don't do anything else around here.
Hey, Bob, Benny Parsons on the phone for you.
Tell him to eat lunch, and I'll call him back later.
Hey, Bob, Craig T. Nelson, he wants you to be on coach next week. I need to get you on a plane to California in about 15 minutes.
Put him on hold. Give me 5 minutes.
Pack your bags?
Put him on hold.
All right.
I'll talk to him later.
Bob,
Like I was...
just a minute. Your mother's on the phone. She wants to talk to you.
My mom?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Maybe later. Maybe I just don't have time right now.
Bob.
Steve Bornstein on the phone.
The president of ESPN?
Yes.
Tell him that I can't talk to him right now, but...
NASCAR meeting 10 minutes ago. Let's go.
Terry, please, 5 minutes. I'll be right back with you. Like I said, I'll have to call you back. I'm sorry.
Bob, Bill Vance Jr. needs you, and Pam needs you to stop at the store and pick some things up on the way going home.
My wife?
Yes.
Tell them both that I'm too busy, but I'll have to get back with you. Sorry. Like I was saying, there's just not enough hours in the day. I am a very, very busy person. In fact, I really didn't think I was going to have enough time to do this intro, but... Oh, well. By the way, Diana, who's on Oprah today?
Bob, it's 420. She's telling the world how she lost all of her weight.
Oh, boy, I love that show.
Wilson has spun right in front of the leader.
Waltrip hit the wall, and now
Strickland goes down, and he saved the snow. There's Brett Bodine right there.
Checkered is waving. Ernie Irvin wins, and Rusty spins and gets airborne. And flips wildly right at the start-finish line. Very reminiscent of his accident at Daytona.
Well, as you can see, things in my life have kind of slowed down since then. But in NASCAR racing, things have been moving ahead at full speed. The introduction of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series has provided Thrills and Spills with some great racing and spectacular action. These guys really haul the mail, and they keep you on the edge of your seat.
On the inside of Rutland, goes to the corner, and Corelli has the lead. Here comes Bickle. And meanwhile, here comes the wreck. Right into turn one, and the truck is on the side.
Now sliding down, and I can't get a number on it yet.
It stopped that way. It's Mike Bliss. Oh, straight to the left front. In the wall he goes. Get that thing out on the racetrack. We need the heat. difference is about half a fender. Hornaday will not give it up easily. He's not going to give up. Here they come, and Hornaday's going to keep that second spot. Wow.
He's got a chance to win this race. He's going to make a race out of it. They come down to the line. They touch it. Oh, my gosh, they went through there side by side. I think Blitz won. The Blitz trouble. John Sandro, Ray Kinnons get together, both of them upside down. Second, and now the challenge on coming to first. He's got him. Look at Sills. He went right in there. He gave her a little bit of a tap right there and moved him over enough. And look at Boat. He goes by both of them while they're battling with each other.
Being a part of Thunder has certainly been one of the highlights of my season. Of course, it doesn't compare to being the host of Thrills and Spills. Welcome back to Stephen Johansson's Karting Center, and yeah, I'm getting close to actually getting out there on the racetrack. But first, the advent of the onboard camera allows the television viewer to see what it's like from the driver's perspective, what it's like to drive through a cloud of smoke and then hit the wall at 200 miles an hour. Enjoy, if you will, for the next few minutes, the best onboard video from 1996. I think I'll watch this. Maybe I can get some pointers on how not to crash out there. that would really hurt in a go-kart, wouldn't it? Oof. Well, don't go away. When Thrills and Spills continues, we'll span the globe for some of the best that the international world of racing has to offer.
Oh, 再次出现事故，两辆车好像是有8号 Nichols，
这个事故也相当的严重。
还有1号车手 Gerster。
Oh, y se fue ahora Villeneuve. Jacques Villeneuve le pegó duro a los dos cuando estaban ahí ya parados contra la pared.
E atenção, Jared, roda, vai bater na mureta, bate forte. E agora acaba variando o capô dianteiro do seu carro e a parte dianteira.
They got the drinking and we... Oh! Hell of a mishap, upside down on the front straightaway.
When they've commenced the wrecking, yes sir, and the red flag is out.
Dragged there with it, kid.
Un accidente bastante fuerte, Dominic Dobson.
¿A dónde lo has visto?
Aquí está volando, es el que está de cabeza.
Ah, no, yo estaba viendo acá fuera de la pista.
Qué impresionante la forma de volar.
The most dangerous part of this course is that you came at the very end where the competitors on quad to directly run into the camera.
Agora sim, no replay vamos ver o que houve. Olha aí, tem um outro carro envolvido, lado a lado, é o carro número 9. Oh! Rich Bickle。
But 目前仍然是排在第5位，他如果不能摆脱目前的这种局面，他将不能进入最后的。哦，最后撞了车！哇！哇！
Somehow racing takes on a whole new twist when heard through the voices of others. Well, it's just about time for me to get in the car and go out on the racetrack. But before I do, I thought I would call on the owner of this place and a guy who obviously knows the best way around, Stefan Johansson, for a few pointers. So, what's the best way around this place?
Well, I think it's pretty much the your traditional racing line. You know, it's pretty close to the real thing. You know, the track is not that long, but it's got a pretty slick and even grip surface, so you know you really need to control and balance the car as pretty much as you do with a proper race car. So the quick way around is pretty much to stick to the racing line and use up all the road that you can.
Would you say that the best thing is being smooth or going fast, or a little bit of both?
You want to be reasonably smoother, but the quick way around generally is to just have the back end hang out a little bit on the entries of the corners, just to kind of balance it on the brakes a little bit, as it's, you know, you kind of steer it with the brake pedal too a little bit.
Boy, it sounds awfully difficult to me, but we'll see how it goes here in a few minutes. In the meantime, watch as 20 of the world's greatest drivers tackle 17 great international race courses.
that was dramatic.
That was a blow-up and a half.
A good look at what a Goodyear looks like when it's being tortured by Martin Brundle.
Welcome back to Thrills and Spills 1996 here at Stefan Johansson's Karting Center. I hope I don't take any rough hits like those off-roaders just did. Well, Stefan has told me about all the lines that you can drive here, so I moved up here to get a better view of the racing facility. The little track really looks pretty smooth, though. And speaking of little, that's the subject of our next segment, the short ovals and the dirt tracks. The drivers that race on these close quarters are the best in the country. I just hope I can be as good.
Shooting it out for fourth. Lee Brewer there. Contact between Green and McMahon, and Paul McMahon is up into the fence. Here comes Ruggiero. He goes up high. Parked right there. Ruggiero goes low. Here he goes for the drag race. And it's parked by half a car lane. Oh, turn two. Oh, flip over. Look out, mama. Oh, boy. The number
Upside down hard here on the front straightaway. Sullivan goes the inside, slides up. Oh, another wheel off. Upside down he comes. This could be it. Is he going to go to the bottom? No, he goes to the top. Oh, up over a wheel. Way up off the racetrack. Through the fence is Glenn Bonet. A wild ride.
Don't go away. There'll be more thrills and spills in just a moment. I just hope none of them are mine. Oh, boy, what a race. That's a lot of work out there. And sorry, nothing for the crash reel this year. Well, while we're awaiting the results of that exciting photo finish, I've compiled a few racing highlights of my own from throughout the years. Now, I know it's not going to look like I'm going that fast on television, but I am. Really.
Can you believe it? Woo!
That's one small step for Bob, one giant leap backward for racing.
It's our buddy Bob Jenkins from ESPN. There he is at row number 3.
Well, this is the area that I've been having most trouble with. Hey, look at me. Picked this up pretty quickly, didn't I?
think my race driving days are over.
The black number 3 has some significance here today. I don't know what it is, but we'll find out.
We're going to use driver third.
How'd you like that, huh?
Great race. Yeah, it was. Very nice. I lost. We'll get him next. Stay tuned. After this classic video, we'll be right back with some of the movers and shakers of '96.
Out of the church, ribeye sandwiches, steak burgers, head on over and get yourself one. And of course, don't forget the Changolitos over here. They've got pizza, breadsticks, ice cold drinks. Grab yourself something to eat, get something to drink. Do it now.
So far, station wagons are holding up there. Running the same style motors as in my pickup, 318.
You want all tonight's action on video. All you got to do is go order one. And Silly says I can't do it.
Next year, I'm driving.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Your check's in the mail. It's just about time to go here on Thrills and Spills, but before we go, we thought we'd show you some of the winners from 1996. Now, not all of these guys won championships, but we did have a lot of first-time winners and some of those who returned to Victory Lane. Congratulations to everyone who made the show this year, and many thanks to Stefan Johansson's Karting Center. I'm Bob Jenkins. So long, everyone.
Trying to win his first ever race. Rossetti's beaten on him. Corelli holds his own. Corelli will win it.
You've won the Indy 200 at Walt Disney World. Where are you going to go to now? Going to Indy.
Truck champion.